Welcome to the Boom Boom Room, y'all, where there's no topic too big or small, but we talk about it all. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Boom Boom Room. It has been a while. I'm back with you, old Mr. Ashes, and today I got with me GameRetainer. How you doing, Game? How you been?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me back. How's it going?
Doing good, man. Good. I've been wanting to talk to you ever since the new update, of course, 7 Days to Die, and finally made it happen. We got the magic. Got the magic.
We did.
Yep, sure did. But how's things been going with the channel?
I'm going from strength to strength. Going, can't complain.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I mean, obviously 2.0's had its issues and it's had a lot of pushback from quite a few people, but as a whole, the game and my channel at least is growing pretty nicely.
Yeah. I was just thinking about before this, what was I going to ask you first? There's just so many questions. I guess first question I ask you, what do you think about it so far in a whole? Before I start breaking it down and ask you individual questions, what do you think in just a whole about it?
As a whole, I like it. There's a lot of things in it which they're not perfect, and I don't think they're ever going to be. 7 Days to Die, it's been development for 10 years, so many changes. It's never going to appeal to everyone. There are things I think that they were maybe a little bit lazy on, or left to the last minute. But I find that I'm enjoying it. I think I said last time I was on here, the best part of the game is the early game to the mid game.
Yeah.
And it's definitely made that experience a little bit longer. Whether that's all good, I don't know. But I find that I'm scared for longer. There's that sort of early game thrill that seems to last a little bit longer. So as a whole, I do quite like it.
Yeah, I was telling you before I started this, we started a community server, and there's probably about 7 or 8 of us on there, and it's just, we've been playing it for 2 weeks, and it's just, we done went to late game so quick because there's so many of us, going down one skill tree. It just seems like it's just quickly, you know what I mean? It's towards the end game, and I'm probably going to restart it. It's, to me, like you said, I'm not a veteran player, but the first and middle game, just wonderful. You get to the end game, it's just like you're in the wasteland, and got all the loot. What you're fixing when you get out of the loot boxes, you've done already got that back at your base. And the only thrill is Horde Night or the zombies that you're fighting to get to the end loot. But yeah, I guess first question, well, probably second or third, don't know how many damn questions I done asked already. But the storms, what do you think about the storms?
I mean, it's a strange one.
Yeah.
It could have been done a lot better. I do like the fact that all zombies are feral during the storms. I think that's quite a cool mechanic.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can't be out in the storms makes that a little bit redundant. And it's very easy to cheese your way through the storm. You don't need to be in a big solid structure. I've made a few ridiculous things and just hopped inside. If there was a way that you could survive in it, maybe you could have taken something, had an XP boost, and just have like a miniature Horde night within the storm. That would be great. But it just feels like its only purpose is to slow you down for a few minutes. And I think most people either leave the biome or just head inside and wait down the timer. There's no real purpose. There's nothing for you to do in the storm. You're hampered, and I feel that could have been done a lot better.
So what kind of structures have you made? Just a little box around you? Did that just work?
I've done boxes. I'm using like different letters and stuff, and just making as many ridiculous things as I can. And the storm, there are sometimes you can be inside a massive structure and it'll say hide from the storm, and then there are other times where you're standing in a little shelter with no windows, and
Yeah.
it'll say you're perfectly safe. There's
Yeah.
no. It's done so strangely. It doesn't make sense. You don't necessarily need to hide from the storm, and
Yeah.
sometimes when you do hide, the location you're hiding in just isn't good enough for whatever reason.
Yeah. 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 I think they're, like you said, it could be, it's a cool mechanic, but they should, they could have added more and took away a little bit to it to make it, more exciting and stuff. The biome progression.
Mhm.
Did it? I mean, did you when you first played it? Did you expect what you expected? I mean, or was it? How did that make you
I,
feel?
there are a lot of people that hate it, and they really hate it, and I kind of understand. Me personally, I don't hate it. I don't love it. And I think that the fact it's you need a badge in order to, like a certificate to get into a biome is a bit strange. I think it was Jawoodle who mentioned, like, if you could, your 10th mission for a trader, you go off into the and look for a respirator or something to get into the
Uh-huh.
burnt biome, and that makes more sense than a little badge. And it wouldn't have taken that much more to implement, I don't think. Um, you can, if you want to speed run it. The only thing that slows you down are the timers where you got to stay in the biome
Uh-huh.
for X amount of time. Aside from that, I like it, but it feels a bit lazily done and kind of half-assed put together. I don't know if it was rushed. I don't know how much resources it got. Ultimately, um, I am quite happy because we are still getting free updates,
Yeah.
and I think that's something that a lot of people might overlook, especially if you are like me and was fortunate enough to buy the game when it was on sale. I think that what I ask myself is, for all the things that the game's got wrong, have I got my money's worth? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Uh, I mean, the biome progressions as a whole, it could have been done a lot better. Most of the things could have been done a lot
I
better,
agree.
but you can turn that off. So if you are one of the ones that really hates it, then it's a shame, but you can turn it off and kind of go about it your own way.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I didn't know Jawoodle said that, but I was thinking that myself. Like to get in the
Mhm.
burn force, a mission.
Yeah.
Something, or like a special shot or something that would
Hmm.
change your, DNA or something, and you had to
Yeah.
go through a POI and get to the end, and the loot box be like a special, shot. I know that's
Hmm.
weird, but like to change your DNA or whatever, yourself. But yeah, I don't really mind it, but yeah, they could. I agree with you, and they should have changed it about. Didn't they have just a little update or patch just a few days ago?
Yeah, 2.1.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what. I haven't read through the patch notes myself
yeah,
yet. It doesn't seem like they've changed
uh
anything
huh,
that big. It's mainly minor tweaks and changes. Um, but that's the same with all. Like, that was the same with
yeah,
1.0. We had 1.1 up to 1.4, and I think we'll have the same going up until 3.0,
yeah,
whenever that is.
yeah. Um, well, if you had a choice to play the last version or this version, if there's only, either version, which one would you play? I mean, if you had, that's the only, all you could
Um,
play, you couldn't change. Well, let's make it more broader. Which one what version would you want to play out of all of them? And that's the only one you could ever play for the rest
I
of the
mean,
time.
they all have their merits. I mean,
Yeah,
I would go personally way back to like Alpha 15, 16, but
yeah,
that's because it's. I think for a lot of people, your first playthrough, you're
uh huh,
always going to have a sort of a soft spot for that. That said, I do really like the current version because there are so many new POIs, and the POIs are the biggest part of it for me.
yeah,
I love the exploration. I love like going making my way through all these big places, and there are quite a few new ones that I've been really enjoying. So it would either be Alpha 15, or I think, or 16, or this one now, only for the POIs.
Well, me personally, I feel, I don't know if there's a way around this, what I could do, but I feel like I can't enjoy the POIs. It's like I progress too fast to take my
Mhm.
time. Maybe I shouldn't, do the missions or something, or just, I mean, get to
That's
tier 2 and just stop for a while. I mean, what can
I
I do
think
about that?
the thing that I would do is
Yeah,
play with settings.
yeah,
As what I like doing is during a playthrough, if things start to feel a bit easier, I will
yeah,
up the difficulty, lower the XP, lower the loot. You can do even small things like making loot so it doesn't respawn.
yeah,
Then you've got this limited supply. You are then making the game difficult for yourself. So
uh,
again, it's not really the developers doing much there, but if it kind of gives you, if you look at like any of Glock's playthroughs, he'll
mm,
purposefully give himself a bunch of issues to
yeah,
overcome, and it's a bit. People do get a bit funny sometimes when you compare it to Minecraft, but it is that build your own adventure. Once you get to a certain point, it's up to you what happens. So yeah, play with the settings, up the zombie count, increase blood moon
yeah.
difficulty, everything, and just sort of play around until it becomes challenging again.
Yeah, I just recorded my first episode of Permadeath, and
Hmm.
I didn't really play with the settings. I just upped it one above default because my first Permadeath, at like first day, I come like like I was an inch from dying, and it was
Hmm.
exciting. And
Yeah.
since it's my first permadeath, I'm not messing with the setting. Just pretty well leave it at default and
Hmm.
see how far I can go. And that's what, to me personally, about the game. Like you said, you can play with the settings. You can do what you want. Um, there's just it's just not a narrow. It's just not a narrow straight path. You can just go in a totally different directions. You go permadeath run, like you said, no loot respawn, and I think that's what, for me personally, makes the game just exciting and just my new favorite at the moment, definitely. But say if you was I'm probably gonna ask you this question about the builds in about 10 different ways. But first of all, if you was a new player, what skill tree would you go down if you just had to go down one skill tree? I know you could put other points here and there, but what would you mainly focus on if you was a newbie?
If I'm completely new to the game and
Yeah,
I want to be uh, have the best of everything, I'd say go straight into intellect.
yep,
And combine that with farming, you'll be rich within the first couple of weeks of your playthrough, and you'll be incredibly overpowered very, very fast.
yep, yep. I agree with you on that, especially if you get the armor, the nerd armor, and it just
Hmm.
seemed like you progress super fast. I think that me personally, I think they just made that a little over OP. I think they should tone that
Yes.
down a little bit because that right there, it's you could super fast and yeah, definitely. So you think that's the most OP build right now at the moment?
Oh yeah. If you get a stun baton, you get
Yeah.
what I can't remember the mastery rank. It might be rank 2 of mastery in intellect,
Uh-huh.
where you have the additional chance to read 2 magazines, and then the nerd outfit.
Yeah.
You're gonna max out pretty much every skill, buy a handful of forgetting elixirs, and just rinse and repeat, investing points in different
Yeah.
areas, max out the magazines. Yeah, it's. I know the more difficult zombies recover quicker from the repulsor mod on the stun
Uh-huh.
button, but even then, you're inflicting so much damage and taking so little in return. It's yeah, arguably you don't need any guns. You just need the stun
Yeah.
button.
Yeah. I just think to me that it's just too OP.
Hmm.
I think that I mean, I probably get, some shit about this, but I think they should, rework that a little bit. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's very powerful.
what about as far as just a weapon, as far as gun? Which one would you go with?
I've always liked the M60, but
Yeah,
that's more late game.
yeah,
Um, I really do like the AK-47. It's not the most
yeah,
powerful, but just the way it feels,
yeah,
shoots, just it's kind of an all-in-one great weapon. I have started to use the auto shotgun.
yeah,
Um, not it's not personally for me. I like those range shots, but it's pretty damn good still. But yeah, I think just going down the machine gunner route is the
yeah,
most beneficial if you're not looking to get hit, I would say.
yeah. Me personally, I don't know. I really like the bow. You know, I like that
Mm.
stealth, a little bit of stealth coming in, and you know, I heard. I don't know who said it. Was it Fire Spark? I think that's his name. That you know, the compound bow better than the crossbow. You know,
Mm.
as far as getting that extra damage. You know, sneak damage. And for me,
Mm.
I like that shot. You know, that head shot with a bow. It's really satisfying for me. And so I've heard some say that the bow is shitty now. I mean, I don't.
It's the bow's still got its place, but
Yeah,
I think there's no. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is
yeah,
somebody out there, but I can't see a way of having the bow and it being useful in the late stages of a playthrough.
yeah, yeah,
There needs to be. I don't know how, but I don't know if you could fire 3 arrows or something to make it a little faster
yeah,
because it's draw time. It's great in the early stages. You can still get off those stealth kills, and
yeah,
it can be really good. But as you progress, it just becomes
yeah.
just a bit pointless. It's not fast enough.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They need an auto crossbow, you know, and
Hmm.
something like I said would shoot it like rapid 3 shots, you know,
Yeah.
and they should have that like a skill, like even if
Hmm.
it's an end skill. But if we'll say right off the bat when you first do your first mission and you get that little package after you do the dig mission, which one would you pick? I mean,
I,
usually
I still machine gun
machine
bundle.
gun, machine gun.
Mhm.
See, what the only thing that messes me up, if you get the machine gun bundle, and then I feel like I'm doing something wrong, spreading my points out. I mean,
Mhm.
what do you think? Okay, I know you said the intellect. If when you first get those first 4 points, where do they go immediately for you
Well,
personally?
2.0, it's changed things for me a little bit.
Yeah.
I really like the general tab. That's
Hmm.
so much more useful. Um, I would say with the first few points, it maybe not invest in any weapon,
Yeah.
which sounds a bit strange, but for me, I put a couple of points into living off the land and immediately start harvesting, farming, start getting stuff to sell to the traders, and then looking for the nearest way to get Bob's balls and get super corn. Then I would also put a point into any of the armor perks, which are now in general, because that boosts your chances of getting armored up magazines. And the faster you can get better armor, the better, really. That you'll have more XP if you got the nerd hat on and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And then with the final point, it's now pack mule,
Yeah.
because that is it used to be pretty pointless in my opinion, but now that nice chance to avoid damage, while the sound it makes every time it activates is really irritating.
Yeah. It is.
Um, it's a very powerful perk to invest in.
Which one do you go with in the armor? Do you go with light, medium, or heavy?
Um, to be honest, I probably put it in light only because early on that's what you're wearing. I think that primitive armor's light armor, if I remember rightly. Ultimately, it doesn't matter so much because if you're like me, you'll take a forget an elixir once you've maxed out
Yeah.
like the armor magazines. But I would say that the armor magazines, because they are really important in the game, more so than the weapons, because the boosts that you get from each armor piece, depending on what you're wearing,
Uh-huh.
they can make you do what is it, the priest outfit, is it, whatever it's
Yeah.
called,
Preacher.
preacher, that's it, and it gives you something ridiculous like a 50% undead damage, or it might be the
Oh.
gloves. um And that is way better than a lot of the early game weapon effects.
Yeah.
So going into armors over weapons, I think is, and then obviously you do need your workbenches, so you do need your forge ahead as well. So maybe get your next point, put it into advanced engineering or what is it, lock picking? I think actually.
Yeah.
And get that workbench going. Once you've got that, and you've got you kind of grinding through the armor stages, then look at a weapon.
Well, like if you put 3 points into farming, don't you get triple the?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be better if you done that off the bat, so you can like get the cotton and sell? I mean, for money and stuff. Because you get triple.
Yes and no. I the only reason why I don't put the third one in is the third one costs 2 points instead of 1.
Oh, okay.
So I'll take the first. I think the second rank gives you a 50% chance of getting an extra one, and it reduces the cost of farm plot blocks. So that's usually enough for me. If you want, I mean, you can absolutely do the 3, and it will help, but you'd need 5 skill points then, or you'd need to put everything in one area.
Yeah.
And I think early on, you want to have you don't want to sort of pin yourself in too early with one thing.
Yeah.
So spread out a little bit, and then you're going to start finding a bit of variation. And also because farming, the magazine set is the smallest one in the game. It's not going to take more than 3 days or so to find all the magazines and be able to craft all the seeds anyway. So that third point, it can be helpful for a few extra dukes, but I think it's better spent elsewhere, personally.
Yeah, so you're saying pack mule, 2 in farming, and 1 in armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I get to a point, I get anxiety over stupid shit. Like, did I put my points right? I kind of get tripping at first. Because, and then, like parkour, and then you got to put, it takes 2 points to get to level 1 because you got to put that extra point to open parkour up. And then I get anxiety because I'm spreading my points all over, and I just and stuff like that. But like if you get level 1 armor, say you can make level 1 armor, what set would you go with, or what pieces?
If you want
the first set armor.
I mean, I personally don't have like a full set because I think the set bonuses are crap.
Yeah.
Unless you go in mining, in which case the bonuses can be quite beneficial. But I would usually always have, is it nerd hat or goggles? It used to be 1, it's changed, for the XP boost.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd have the preacher outfit and maybe even the preacher gloves, because I think then you've got the damage mitigation and the increased undead damage. And then I usually go for the athletic shoes, or I think it's called something like that, because then you get the sprint speed boost. So if you've not invested in parkour, but you can run fast, you can still get out of the way of enemies pretty quickly without having to jump. That's my set. That's my preferred go-to. I like to try and keep things light.
Yeah.
And also kind of keep a bit spread out, so I'm getting more XP, I'm moving faster, and I'm taking less damage while dealing more. I'm hitting lots of different areas rather than just focusing in one group.
What would you think that the best mod to go in your helmet early game or?
That for me, that's easy. That's treasure hunters. Well, either treasure hunters mod or a head torch, because unless you turn the brightness up, it's pretty dark in a lot of the POIs. But I'd prefer the treasure hunters mod over the head torch. I feel it's a little harder to come by early on. So if you find it, use it. Yeah,
that's kind of. I like to put my points, like I said, in farming so I can, get doubled cotton, so I can sell and, and go ahead and buy the pot and then find the pot first POI that you go into.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it is. But it's a wonderful game, and there's so much more I discover in it. And I know you're a veteran player, and there's probably stuff you discover too in it.
Constantly.
Yeah, and that's what I said. That's the only thing that bothers me is I don't get to check a lot of POIs out, and I need to just I feel like, and what gets me is getting transportation. But
Mm,
you can get the motorbike pretty quick,
yeah.
and pretty quick now. But once you get something like that, or even a motorcycle, I feel like that maybe I could explore more and check the POIs out. Like I haven't even done the rock quarry yet.
Mm.
And but as far as the new POIs that they added, what's your favorite so far?
Um, oh, that's a tricky one. One thing, and I've said this a lot in my videos. I
Mm-hmm.
really love the storytelling of
Yeah.
POIs. You can sort of piece things together I literally made a video earlier today about like hidden-ish locations, and there's a new it's Atomic Burger,
Yeah.
and it's just a little small rundown, looks crap, an old restaurant, but there's a little underground area and it's easy to miss. And it's a lot of things like that where you can kind of follow the trail of, same with Cross Vein Mine is another new one, where you can follow the trail of what
Yeah.
used to be survivors and piece together. As a whole, though, Korea Rockworks, the one of the two new big ones, I
Yeah.
think it's two or three, I can't remember, is a really good one because that's it's spread out, but it's still challenging. And even though you are out in the open, it can still be quite difficult, especially when you get to that end room.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of my new favorites. But as a whole, it's called Project Blue Sky or Sky something or other, and I've made a few videos about it. It's a
Mm-hmm.
tier 0 POI, if I remember rightly, and it's a huge underground bunker that's very similar to something you'd find in Fallout,
Uh-huh.
and I love it.
Y'all have to check what biome is that one in?
Um, I mean, it depends what map you're on. I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm not sure if it's on Navezgane. I can't. I was supposed to check. I can't remember. Um, so far, I've found it in the desert. I found it in Pine Forest on different random gen worlds. Um, I'll when this video goes up, if I can
Yeah.
find the name of it, I'll post the name and a couple of coordinates because
Okay.
it's such a cool POI and it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, that's what I like about the Fallout universe. They got a lot of stories,
Hmm.
and I noticed that 7 Days to Die. It's got some stories and stuff. Like you said, the storytelling because you put yourself, what happened and when the virus hit. Because I know there's a few videos out there that kind of tells about the story, the whole
Hmm.
whatever universe. I mean, I don't know if anybody really got it right,
Hmm.
but you ever thought about making a video about that, telling the
I Yes, I did. I had thought about it in the past, but
uh-huh.
because 2.0 brought in Frost Claws and Desert Plague Spitters, I have no idea. I've said this on stream a few times how because it's a glorified Yeti is the Frost
Yeah,
Claw.
yeah,
How that came about, I have no clue. The
yeah,
rest of it, you know, Higashi Pharmaceutical and the Dr. Karen Higashi residence, you can piece together a few things.
yeah,
Um, and you do get a few if you read some of the notes and books and stuff that you pick up along the way. You can. There are a lot of small details, even like junk on the floor. You can see little newspaper clippings
yeah,
and stuff. I'm a bit stumped with the new enemies. I don't know how they came about. Same with the infernal zombies
yeah.
and that. Um, Prior to that, yes, I think I would have loved to have put a video together about the lore, but now I just don't have a clue how it would work, and I'm not convinced that the pub fun pimps do either, to be honest.
I don't understand about the Frost Claw either, and that
Yeah,
was just out of left field. Those enemies.
yeah.
Just
I couldn't figure out. Not that like it's cool to see new enemies come to the game, but
yeah,
if the fun pimps ever do decide to put out an actual storyline, it'll be interesting to see how these appeared because there's no way from what we've seen so
yeah.
far, the zombie outbreak, that a percentage of them end up in a loincloth in the snow biome throwing rocks at you. It seems a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it reminds me of something like in Egypt, like a mummy type, creature.
Yeah, that's the desert plague spitter is a bit mummified, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another one that I've mentioned because she summons insects.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Is it a
and
woman?
that
How do you know it's a woman? You said chick.
that's just the
Oh,
impression I got. I
wow,
don't know why. I don't know. It might be a he. I have
okay.
no idea. I've always said she.
I didn't know. I said, did you see something I didn't? You know. So.
I hope not. I don't know why I've gone with she. Just feels,
Yeah.
but despite the fact that that zombie spits, I think someone said there was supposed to be locusts.
Yeah.
Um, they're the same insects that you have a chance from getting when you break a tree stump,
Yeah.
which would make them bees because that's where you get honey. I know I'm reading into things a bit much, and at the end of the day, it's just a game, and we should all have fun.
Yeah.
But there are some aspects where I kind of it's a zombie game. It's supposed to be a bit far fetched, but it's some of the newer features have me questioning a lot of how could they possibly have existed and come into the game. Maybe there's something we're missing. Maybe it's something the Fun Pimps do have
Yeah.
locked up for a future update, but I'd be surprised, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. I noticed too that I've seen a couple of videos that when the locusts come out of bees, it if you use AP ammo, just so that you can one shot them. You know.
Yeah,
I've seen that video.
I don't think that's intended. So I wouldn't surprise me if that gets fixed.
Yeah.
But I've noticed as well with the frost claws, if you kill them while they're holding their little boulder that they pick up, they die attached to the boulder.
Really?
It becomes sort of fused to their hand. So there's a couple of things that are a bit strange, a bit, I would guess, unintended. But I think with every update that comes with the game, there are a few unintended features that come along with it.
Yeah, especially the ghost spitters. You know, they're like a ghost at first sometimes.
But I'd be interested to find out if there's. I mean, you must have felt this as well. When you're looking for them to complete the challenge, you can't find them anywhere.
No.
And then as soon as you complete the challenge, you can't get rid of them.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's like just the can't see for looking mindset, or if there's somehow until you've completed the challenge, fewer spawn in. Because I found myself searching for ages for both the plague spitters and even burn victims. To be honest, when I'm trying to complete those challenges, I spend ages wandering around.
Yep, same thing. Excuse me, same thing. I think they do that on purpose. I really do. But yeah, the very annoying plague spitters. Wow.
Yep.
Man, probably the most annoying creature there is. Now on the new zombies like the Charged and the Inferno or whatever they call them, which one is got the most hit points?
If I remember rightly, and I haven't done a lot of sort of testing and playing around with them, I think that the blue ones do more block damage, and then the orange ones do more player damage, I think. That said, Grace now is said to do more block damage, and the boulders thrown by the frost claws also do quite a lot of block damage.
Yeah.
So I think what the Fun Pimps are doing is moving away from it all being player damage and heading into more structural damage to make players build more elaborate bases.
Have you noticed too that some of the zombies, when you hit them, they'll crouch and just stay crouched? Do they do that to you too? Like
there's a few new bugged movements.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's because either they can fit through one block gaps, or because they now have the animation where, you know, if you sneak up on a zombie, they'll in a POI they remain frozen. You can now sneak up on a zombie that's in the crouched position, and I wonder if sometimes they move out of their crouched position, but they don't necessarily move out of the crouch pose.
Yeah.
Like they leave the little block they're in. But that's just a guess.
Yeah, I noticed there's a few little bugs here and there. I mean, overall, it's pretty stable. Do you think they changed the I know you said you ain't looked at the patch notes, but as far as the screamers, the way they
Yeah,
come,
they seem to be a lot less often. Um, Still getting two of them when they do eventually turn up. That's been the case for a while, though.
yeah,
They came in pairs for some reason. But yeah, they're definitely not coming as often as they once were.
yeah. I'd also noticed a friend of mine that when we was playing with on a community server that when you're mining, if you're using an auger, if you just keep the trigger down, I never had them show up. Now if you keep
Yeah.
off the trigger, I noticed that they'll come, to
That's
you.
for some reason when you're using an auger, the button to start the auger generates a little bit of heat, but then
Yeah,
if you hold the button,
yeah.
no more heat's generated. So yeah, they won't spawn. It's a bit of a strange one. But yeah, I don't know why they're spawning in fewer, and on top of that, I've noticed that loot bags are a lot more abundant than
Yep,
they've ever been.
yep. I've noticed
Um,
it too.
I'm not sure if that was intentional. I haven't seen anything about it in the patch notes, which makes me think that it wasn't meant. Not only that, actually, there are some guaranteed drops or former guaranteed drops like direwolves. Now they don't have 100% chance anymore to drop a red loot bag.
And it's exactly. And I've noticed too. If say I put a point, I didn't had no points in gunner, machine gunner. I had them in the pistol, but I was getting more machine gunner than the pistol. Books. I've noticed that, and then I don't know, since the update, I'm getting a lot. Not even putting a point in anything associated with the Mag Card magazines. I was getting a lot of those. I mean, have you seen? Is that the biggest change you've seen in loot, or?
I'm not seeing as many car magazines. I have also been told that by a couple of friends that they're struggling to find the armored up magazines.
Oh
Now,
yeah, definitely.
I don't know whether that is across the board. I know most people have a book or a set or something that they can just never find in a playthrough.
Yeah.
I am noticing there are less vehicle adventures magazines, at least when I'm playing. That's about the only one I've really noticed a difference in.
See, I was totally opposite. I had like in 2 days or 3 days, we had the motorbike. It was real quick.
I think maybe it depends because I don't invest in a grease monkey that often. Maybe it's that. Maybe I'm missing out on finding those extra ones. I just feel I don't find them as often as I used to,
Well,
even without putting the point in.
Well, don't you even put it in a lockpick? It still helps you get, or is that's Forge? I'm sorry.
Forge ahead, if I remember rightly, that helps you with 4 different ones,
Yeah.
right? Doesn't it? It's the cars, the Forge ahead, the advanced engineering perk, and there's 2 other ones that it helps
Yeah.
boost. So it doesn't work exactly out like that, but it's about 25% chance then
Well,
extra.
I never, like I said, I'm not a veteran at the game, but Navisgane, the maps is just horrendous to me. Now, I never played Navisgane. Like I said, I did not a veteran, but gosh, I played a little bit of that map. I do not like it at all. Navisgane, whatever they done to it, it's desolate to me. It's just desolate.
There's a lot of I know the town of Gravestown, for example, that was in the wasteland. That's not really been changed. It's just been kind of picked up and then dropped in the burnt forest.
Yeah.
So there are some elements that are quite lazy. One thing I will say about it that I do like is they've brought in some of the POIs that they're not new to the game, but they've not been on the Navezgane map. So there's a couple of there's the Navezgane Transit one that's been in the game for a very long time, but despite being called Navezgane Transit, was not on the Navezgane map.
Yeah.
So I'm pleased that some of those POIs are making it. And I think for new players, if you've never played before, it's why I make a lot of Navezgane content.
Yeah.
When you load up the game for the first time, it automatically suggests Navezgane.
Yeah.
It needed a change. Some of it I think was a bit lazy, but that's kind of a running theme in this podcast where I think I've said about the fun pimps taking the easy way around
Yeah.
quite a lot. I think it's good if you're new and you're inexperienced because you can stay relatively safe. It's very
Uh-huh.
clear as to go here, don't go there. Random gen worlds will always be the best because you have that degree uh, of control. You can, if you're like me, I turn
Uh-huh.
up the wasteland and I turn down the pine forest and I try and make it challenging. So ultimately, it's always going to be random gem worlds that come out on top, I think.
Well, if you was going solo, I asked you, this is a two-part question. What map would you go solo? I guess you pretty well answered me with that, right? Navis game.
Yeah.
And did
Well,
say, go ahead.
if you're new, yes.
Yeah.
If you're new, yeah, absolutely. Navas gain solo for the first time, but then quickly move on to random gen worlds or mods if you're on PC, because there are so many great map mods.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another question I was going to ask you in a second. Now, what about duo? What would you say on a map if you're going duo?
It depends on if you're doing your own bases,
Uh-huh.
if you're teaming up together. Um, the a lot of players a lot of people I've played alongside, they prefer, the bigger the map, the better. But I think there comes a limit with that where it just gets repetitive. So you want a map that's big enough. So I'd say about 8K,
About 8K.
because then it's big enough to get all the POIs in, and you will get a handful of duplicates. But if you're on a just an absolutely enormous map,
Yeah.
then there's 5 trader acts and 4 Joels, and every mission you've got to spend half a day flying from A to
Yeah.
B. It gets you kind of making it a little bit long for yourself. But if you switch up to have towns on high, wilderness POIs on high, and you're fitting quite a lot into a smaller area, then there'll be less traveling and a lot more exploring.
All right. I'll ask you a couple more questions. I won't keep you much longer. If I was telling you we got a community server and there's about 7 or 8 of us, I was fixing to either restart it back to vanilla or mod it out. What do you think if I go the modded direction? What should I do?
Are all the players on the server, are they all PC players?
Yes. All
Okay,
PC.
in that case, 100% mod,
Yeah.
because the guy I've said it before, very lucky. iRobot he does all the modding on the server. I know nothing. He's a genius when it comes to that stuff. But when you put the mods on server side, nobody has to download anything.
Okay.
And when the game gets, we spoke at the beginning about what to do when the game gets a bit easy. That's when you can introduce new mods and new enemies, and we've had all sorts of enemies on our maps, like ones with crazy, like hundreds of thousands of hit points, and they do ridiculous amounts of damage, and it takes a team to take them down. So yeah, definitely modded, because then you can. And one of the great things you could do, and this is something iRobot does for us on our servers, he'll add in mods and he won't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And then one day you'll be foraging or doing something, and then a big behemoth will come out of nowhere. And that, for other players on your server, if they don't know, they're going to get that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome. It's new. It's scary. So yeah, I would definitely go down the modded route.
Yeah, because I'm probably gonna vote on it, in the community on the Discord. But what do you think as an overhaul mod? What would be your choice?
Well, I'm currently doing Darkness Falls.
Yeah.
And I've only played it a couple of times. This is a server that iRobot set up, and it's not vanilla Darkness Falls. He's put on a few other mods as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it, and it's hard to get your head around, because every time you in regular 7 Days to Die, when you get to the mid game, you're nearly towards the end, and as soon as you get into that end area, like you said earlier, there's nothing you need. In Darkness Falls, when you get to that midpoint, you realize, oh, there's a whole other tier that I've not touched. There's a whole other area or skill that I need to master that I didn't know existed. There's a lot more to it and a lot more depth. So while I am very, very new to it, and I've died a ridiculous amount of times, it's so much fun because it is it's a lot more in depth. And in all honesty, it's hard to believe that overhaul mod doesn't cost
Yeah.
Like I'd pay $20-$30 for that.
Yeah, I
It's
would too.
incredible mod.
I really enjoyed it. My son, he yeah, I don't know anything about mods, and
Mhm.
I could barely turn on the PC. But
Yeah.
he put that mod on there. And I think he done added a
Mm.
map with it, because I don't know if you seen me when I was playing it. Like right by the trader, there was like a little base, pre-base, all
Mm.
concrete, you know, and they even had a farm on top of it, you know, caged in
Mm.
farm on the roof. So right there, I had, you know, already had my little base already pretty well set up, you know,
Mm.
concrete base. And but I think my son added that, you know, map, and I think he added like a map pack and some new POIs and stuff like that, which was neat. I really enjoyed Darkness Falls, but I guess maybe where I was playing it alone, when I got so far in it that, you know, the last tier weapons, whatever they were, laser or whatever, you know, I just didn't even
Yeah.
go, you know, even go farther. But it was fun to go into bunkers. It was hard, you know. There was some areas was super hard, and but I really enjoyed it. But if I can, like you said you don't know about, you know, but I don't know what server that my son set up for me, GTX. I don't even know. I've got the server panel I can pull up, tells who's on there and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get him to you know, add some mods. Second choice, second choice on mods. Just a mod pack. What would you go with if it was a Darkness Falls?
Um, I
Would
do
you
like that. I heard one of the players who she plays on your. I think it's she goes by
medieval?
Lisa in the Med.
Medieval?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said she tried. I think it was Rebirth.
Yeah.
She played for a while, and she said it was really difficult, like really
That's
difficult.
she's
So
telling
I've
me.
not tried it myself.
Yeah.
But I'm up for a challenge, and I think I can't say whether I like it or not, but I think if it's anything like Darkness Falls, but just more extreme, then
Yeah.
sounds like something
Yeah.
I'd enjoy.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of videos on it, and she was telling me she played it, and it was, you know, kind of hard to progress. You know, there was some good points
Mhm.
about it, babe. But uh, first of all, you know, I'm gonna see if I can even, you know, add mods, or if he knows how to do it.
Mhm.
I'm sure he does, because he added Darkness Falls mods, you know, and
Mm.
stuff like that. But I guess before I wrap this up, I'll ask you this one last question. Best way to make money early game?
Easy. It's now easier than ever to get Supercorn.
Yeah.
They've taken it away from NDC checkpoint
Uh
3.
huh.
It's still in Bob's Balls and Carl's Corn, but once you hit, I think it's around level 10,
Yeah.
Trader Bob starts selling
Yep.
seeds. So every trader cycle, go and buy, I think it's like 5 seeds. And if you've been investing in armor and living off the land, you can make yourself a farmer set, and you can be very rich within the first few weeks of a playthrough. And then like Dukes, when Dukes no longer become an issue, you can wipe out traders every time they restock, because you'll never want for anything.
Yeah. So what do? Just grow the corn and just sell it, and just keep some
Yeah.
seeds or something.
Yeah,
Just so.
that's as soon as, I mean, make sure though that you've got the, at least the, I think it's the farmer hat,
Uh.
and I can't remember, I think it's the outfit combined, and
Mm,
then max out living off the land when it comes to
yeah.
farming it, and you'll make a lot of money for very little effort.
Yeah. No, I've noticed too, but it takes a little bit, you know.
Mhm.
Salvage operations. If you know, have the salvaging
That's a good one.
suit, you know,
Yeah.
and a wrench, and just tear down some of that and selling some of the parts. You know.
One thing you can do with that, to take it one step further, is once you've got yourself a workbench, put on the scavenger's hat and invest in salvage operations, whatever
Yeah.
it's called. Everything you get from cars, you can use to make, I can't remember if it's bicycle or mini bike
Yeah.
handlebars. Just bulk craft those in a workbench, and you can sell 3 stacks of those, which I think is 50 per stack.
Yeah.
So if you spent a couple of days just breaking down cars, you again early on, you can get a hefty amount of money. And
Yeah.
if you did that whilst your farm is taking shape, then
Yeah.
you're getting money while
Yeah.
waiting for more crops to grow for more money.
Yeah, because medieval, she knew how to use the machines, the kiosks, you know, whatever those are at the trader. I don't know proper word for them, but some way she knew how to use those to sell, you know, in like 3 days make money with the bicycle parts and mechanical parts. But yeah, Gabe, I'll make sure that I drop your link, man, in the channel description. You know, I always forget things. I gotta write things down. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on. I know we've been wanting to do this for a few weeks now. Just both been busy. But is there anything that you want to add before I end it?
No, I think ultimately, if you are new and you are watching this, one of the best pieces of advice I could give, despite making videos about giving out advice and showing off locations, it is to just not watch any of it. I know that's not a good self-plug, but instead just experience it. Hop in, play it yourself, make your own opinion. Don't read what other people are putting out, and just enjoy. Do whatever makes you happy. I've said this so many times. There's no one right way to play. I've had comments telling me I'm doing this wrong, that wrong. There is no wrong way. You do whatever makes you happy, and worst case scenario, you die a few more times than normal.
Yeah, but it's a very fun game, though. It's very addictive. I know that. But anyway, guys, I appreciate it out there. Go make sure you check out GameRetainer on YouTube. And are you on Twitch? You're not on Twitch, are you?
Yeah, it's all the same name.
Oh, GameRetainer. Yeah, and he also has another channel called Facts.
Fact Retainer, yes.
Fact Retainer. I'll make sure to put that in the description. I'm really enjoying those too. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching this video. Until next time, everybody, peace out.